This happened 2 weeks ago, and I still feel like I'm stuck in some messed up soap opera. I'm 34, married to my wife, Emily, 32, for 6 years. Things weren't perfect lately, but they weren't this bad either. At least I thought. We don't have kids, just a dog and a mortgage. Emily had been distant over the past few months, more tired, more work stress, more staying late to catch up on emails. Nothing specific that screamed affair, just the usual slow fade couples go through sometimes. I chalked it up to stress or boredom. Then my parents invited us to a family barbecue at their place. Normal summer thing. I didn't want to go. My sisters are annoying, their kids are brats, and their husbands are like walking beer commercials. But Emily insisted. She said it'd be good to spend time with family, and we never go anywhere anymore. I gave in. Bad call. We showed up late. My dad was already buzzed and lounging in the hot tub section of the pool with a cooler beside him. My sisters were 3 drinks past annoying. I stayed mostly in the background, grabbing a beer, talking to my cousin, and keeping an eye on the chaos from a safe distance. Emily was weird that day. Too smiley, laughing way too much at dumb jokes from my dad. And they kept looking at each other. Not normal father-in-law/daughter-in-law glances, but these weird, quick stares. I saw it more than once. She even playfully smacked his arm at one point when he made some joke about young girls not being able to keep up. It was subtle, but it hit wrong. At one point, I walked up behind her to put my hand on her back while she was talking to my dad. She jumped like I'd tasered her, then gave me this fake laugh and brushed it off like she was just startled. I didn't say anything then, but I watched. When she got up to help Mom in the kitchen, my dad got out of the hot tub exactly 2 minutes later and went inside to use the bathroom. They were gone for about 20 minutes. I waited, then followed. Kitchen was empty. Bathroom door wasn't locked, but no one was in there. Then I heard it. A muffled laugh. Female. From down the hallway. The guest room. I walked slowly. My chest was pounding. I didn't want to know, but something in me had to know. I put my hand on the door handle. And just before I turned it, I heard my dad's voice. You better be quiet this time. Emily's voice followed. Then don't make me laugh. I froze. And that's when the door creaked open just a crack. What I saw inside nearly made me vomit. I should have turned around. I should have walked away and pretended I didn't hear anything. But I didn't. The door was already cracked open, just wide enough to see through the mirror on the wall across the room. And in that mirror, clear as day, was my wife. She wasn't even trying to hide it. Her shirt was missing. He couldn't keep his hands off her. They were laughing like 2 drunk college kids at spring break, completely unaware that just 10 feet away, I was standing in stunned silence. I stepped back. My brain short-circuited. For a few seconds, I literally forgot how to breathe. Then I took out my phone and hit record. Not because I wanted to keep a souvenir of the worst moment of my life, but because I knew the second I confronted either of them, they'd lie. And I needed proof. I stood there, recording through the crack in the door for maybe 15 seconds. Then I walked straight back outside, sat down by the pool, and drank another beer. My hand was shaking so badly I could barely hold the bottle. 10 minutes later, they came out, separately. My dad returned to his spot in the hot tub like nothing happened. Emily came out from the opposite side of the house, brushing her hair back and pretending she'd just been helping your mom with the potato salad. Her cheeks were flushed, her lips slightly swollen. It was so obvious now. I played dumb. We stayed another 30 minutes. I smiled. I helped load the grill into the garage. I waved goodbye. In the car on the way home, I asked her if she enjoyed the party. She said, "Yeah, it was good to see your family again." I nodded. "Yeah, Dad seemed to really enjoy himself." She laughed. "Yeah, well, your dad always does." I didn't say another word for the rest of the drive. The moment we got home, I told her I forgot something in the car. I walked around the block and threw up behind a dumpster. I sat on the curb for 20 minutes before I could walk back inside without losing it again. She was already in bed when I came back. I didn't sleep that night. I didn't sleep the next night either. The morning after that, I woke up, showered, and told her we needed to talk. So I sat her down at the kitchen table. No coffee, no small talk. I told her, "I know what you did at the barbecue." She froze. Her smile evaporated like someone flipped a switch. "What are you talking about?" "You and my dad. In the guest room." Silence. She blinked. "That's ridiculous." I pulled out my phone. I didn't say a word. Just hit play. Her face turned the color of raw chicken. One hand went to her mouth. The other gripped the edge of the table like the ground had dropped out beneath her. She didn't even watch the whole thing. She just whispered, "Oh my God." I paused the video and looked at her. "I'm gonna need something better than oh my God." She started crying. Classic. "I didn't plan it," she said. "It just happened. We were drinking and joking around and with my dad, Emily. I don't know what to say, okay? It just happened. He was being charming, and I felt flattered." Flattered? I laughed. "You were riding him in my parents' guest room while I was outside with the rest of the family." She went full meltdown mode, crying, hyperventilating, hands waving, standing up, sitting down. It was a mistake. A horrible, disgusting mistake. I didn't mean for it to go that far. "How far has it gone?" "What?" I stood up. "Was that the first time? Tell me the truth." She shook her head frantically. Yes. Yes. I swear to God it was the first and only time." She was lying. I could see it, hear it in her voice. Her eyes wouldn't meet mine for more than half a second. Her hands were doing that panicked, twitchy thing she always did when she got caught in a lie. I walked away. She followed. "Please, please don't tell anyone," she begged. "Your mom will freak out. It will destroy your family. You destroyed it the second you crossed the line with him." Then she snapped. "Why the hell are you acting like you're some innocent saint? You've been distant for months. You've barely touched me. You never pay attention to me anymore. Are you seriously blaming me for this?" "No. Look, you've been cold. And your dad, he noticed. He listened. He complimented me." I laughed again, but there was nothing funny about it. "So your answer to me being distant was to be with my father?" She collapsed onto the floor, sobbing. "I don't know what I was doing. I feel sick about it. I haven't eaten since. Please don't leave me." But I was already walking to the bedroom. I needed time, space, and a plan, because I wasn't just going to leave her. I was going to bury her. The next morning, I called in sick. I couldn't face work, could barely face my own reflection. Emily was trying to act normal, making coffee, playing the housewife, trying to win him back routine. She didn't even bring up last night. Like if she stayed quiet and smiley long enough, I'd forget everything. I didn't say a word to her, just grabbed my keys and left. But I didn't go far. I went straight to my parents' house. My mom opened the door. She smiled when she saw me. "Hey, sweetie. Twice in 1 week. What a treat. Is Dad home?" She blinked. No. He left about an hour ago." "Why?" "I need to talk to him. Alone." She tilted her head. "Is something wrong?" I looked her dead in the eye. "Mom, where is he?" Her face fell. She stepped back slowly. "Garage. He's been working on the lawn mower." "Perfect." I walked around the house, through the side gate, and into the garage. Sure enough, there he was, half under the mower, whistling like he didn't just nuke his own family. He saw me, smiled. "Hey, kiddo, something wrong with your car?" I didn't answer. I waited until he pulled himself out from under the mower. He wiped his hands on a rag. "You okay?" Then I said it. "I know you slept with Emily." His face didn't change. No shock, no guilt, nothing, just a long pause. Then, finally, "You sure you want to go down this road?" My stomach turned. What the hell does that mean? He looked down, then straight at me. "You think it was just once?" There it was. I took a step back. He stood up slowly, tossed the rag on the tool bench, and leaned on the mower. "I'm not proud of it," he said, like he was talking about speeding or forgetting to take out the trash. "But let's not pretend your marriage was picture perfect." "Don't." He kept going. "She came to me, you know. I didn't chase her. She was lonely. You were checked out. You left the door wide open, and she walked through it. You're my father, and you're a grown man. Welcome to adulthood." I wanted to hit him. Right there. I clenched my fists so hard my nails dug into my palms. "How long has this been going on?" I asked, voice shaking. 3 months. 3 months. I turned and walked out. I could hear him behind me, saying something like, "Don't make this worse than it is." But it was already worse than I could have imagined. And it wasn't over. Because that night, I got a text from an unknown number. It said, "I saw what your wife and dad did at the party. We need to talk." At first, I thought it was a prank. That text, "I saw what your wife and dad did at the party. We need to talk," was from an unlisted number. No name, no profile picture, just those words. I stared at it for a full minute, trying to decide if I was being messed with. Then I replied, "Who is this?" 3 dots popped up. Then, "Let's just say I'm someone who saw more than I should have." I was in the hallway. I heard everything. I scrolled up to check the time. It had been sent at 9:17 p.m., exactly 2 days after the barbecue. My pulse spiked. I texted again. Are you family? No. Friend of the family. Neighbor. I've been to their barbecues before. I was with a friend. We were just leaving when I passed the guest room. I stared at the screen. The guest room. My throat dried out. I remembered that voice I heard in the hallway. That laugh. That creak of the floorboards. Someone else had heard it too. What exactly did you hear? Enough to know your wife was screwing your father while everyone else was out by the pool. Why are you telling me this? Because you deserve to know the rest. I saw them together at the gas station last week. Late at night. She wasn't wearing her ring. And he paid in cash. I dropped my phone. She was still seeing him. Even after getting caught, crying, begging, saying it was a one-time thing. She was still sneaking around. I picked up the phone and typed, hands shaking. Can we meet? The reply came quickly. Tomorrow. Noon. Cafe Milano. I'll be in a red hoodie. That night, I didn't say a word to Emily. She tried to act normal, asked what I wanted for dinner, talked about the neighbor's new fence like nothing had happened. I just nodded, pretended to listen, smiled once or twice. Inside, I was planning her funeral. Not literally, but socially, emotionally. Yeah, she was about to find out what happens when you lie to someone who's already seen the truth. Because if this stranger had proof, I was going to take it public and burn them both to the ground. I got there early, 11:40 a.m. Cafe Milano isn't the kind of place you go for secrets. Open patio, lots of windows, upbeat jazz playing in the background. It's where couples go on third dates. I sat at a corner table, facing the entrance, watching every person who walked in. At exactly 12:03, I saw the red hoodie. It was a woman, mid-30s maybe, blonde hair tied back, dark sunglasses, walked in like she was late to something. She scanned the place and made a beeline straight for me. You're Jake, right? She asked quietly, pulling out the chair opposite me. I nodded. Yeah. She sat down, looked around once, then pulled her sunglasses off. I'm Kendra. I'm friends with the Gonzalez family. They live 2 doors down from your parents. I'm usually there for parties. I saw you and Emily at the barbecue. Okay. She leaned forward, lowered her voice. I was leaving early that day. My friend wasn't feeling well. I walked through the hallway to get to the side exit, and I heard noises. I stayed silent. I peeked through the guest room door, she said. I saw your wife and your dad. Clothes halfway off. She had dropped to the ground. My stomach clenched. Even though I already knew, hearing it from a stranger made it worse. Kendra continued. I didn't say anything at the time. Honestly, I felt sick. But then I saw them again last week. Same gas station. Late. Different cars. They weren't acting like in-laws. I swallowed hard. You said she wasn't wearing her ring? She nodded. And she kissed him before she got in her car. Like, really kissed him. Not the kind you give your father-in-law. I sat back. Why are you telling me this? She hesitated. Then, because I've seen what affairs like this do to people. I've been on the receiving end. I know what it's like to be lied to. And I figured, maybe you'd want to know. I nodded slowly. Did you take pictures? She opened her purse and pulled out a small flash drive. I didn't take any during the barbecue. But at the gas station? Yeah, I got 3. She slid the flash drive across the table. I didn't touch it at first. I just stared at it like it was radioactive. You're sure it's her? She looked me dead in the eye. Same coat. Same hair. Same license plate. That was your wife. I finally picked it up. Thanks, I muttered. She paused. I don't know what you're gonna do. But if it were me, I'd burn them both. I looked at her and smiled. That's the plan. I didn't go home right away. I drove around for 2 hours with that flash drive sitting in the cup holder like a loaded gun. It wasn't like I needed more proof. I already had the recording, the confrontation, her lies, my dad's confession. But now I had something concrete, something visual, something I could use. I pulled into a Walmart parking lot, parked in the far corner, and opened my laptop. Plugged in the drive. 3 video files, all time-stamped from 5 days ago, all labeled gas station 1, 2, and 3. I clicked the first one. It was a grainy night cam shot, taken from a distance. But there she was, Emily, getting out of her car, wearing her stupid white coat with the fur collar. She walked up to a black Ford F-150, my dad's truck. She leaned in through the window, talked for a second. Then he got out. They hugged. And then she kissed him. Not a quick thank you kiss. A long, deliberate kiss that said everything. I clicked the second video. Different angle. Closer. You could clearly see her hand on his chest. His on her waist. Her eyes closed. Third video. Her stepping away from the truck, looking around, then adjusting her coat and wiping her lips. She looked happy, relaxed, comfortable. Like this wasn't new. Like this wasn't shameful. Like this was normal. I shut the laptop. I didn't feel angry. Not right then. I felt cold. Dead inside. I called my lawyer. Told her I wanted to move forward. No more waiting. She said she'd have the revised papers by the end of the week. Then I made one more stop, my parents' house. Only my mom was home. She looked surprised to see me. Jake. Twice in a week. This is some kind of record. Is Dad here? She shook her head. No, he's out golfing. Why? I looked her dead in the eye. I need to show you something. I sat her down at the kitchen table, the same place I'd sat Emily just days before. Jake, what's going on? She asked, concerned now. You're scaring me. I opened my laptop, inserted the flash drive, and played the second video, the one with the clearest view. My mom leaned forward, squinting. It took her 5 seconds to recognize them. She froze. Emily. My dad. At the gas station. Kissing. Her hand flew to her mouth. What is this? I paused the video. That's from last week. She didn't say anything for a full 10 seconds. Then she stood up like she couldn't physically sit anymore. No, she whispered. No, that can't be. Your father wouldn't do this. He would. He did. I played the first few seconds again, watched her face crumble. Then she turned and walked out of the room. I followed her down the hallway. She stumbled into their bedroom, grabbed the nearest laundry basket, and hurled it across the room. Clothes flew everywhere. Then she collapsed onto the bed and screamed into a pillow. I stood in the doorway, frozen. I knew something was off, she sobbed. He's been different for months. I thought it was just age or stress. Or God, Jake, your wife? I didn't know what to say. There wasn't a script for this. She sat up, hair a mess, tears streaking down her face. How long? 3 months, at least. That I know of. She shook her head violently. What the hell is wrong with him? What the hell is wrong with her? I don't know, I said, but I'm done trying to figure it out. My mom wiped her eyes and looked up at me with a kind of fire I hadn't seen in years. I want him out of this house. I blinked. Seriously? She nodded, furious. I want him gone. If he comes home, I'll tell him to leave. Pack his crap. Take his golf clubs. Go stay at the damn retirement lodge with his new little girlfriend. I almost smiled. She's 32. That did it. She laughed bitterly, shook her head, and muttered, pig. Then she stood up. What are you going to do now? Lawyers drafting the divorce papers. I'm moving out by the weekend. She didn't argue, didn't try to stop me. She just nodded and said, tell me if you need help. As I walked out of the house, I realized something. This wasn't just a marriage ending. It was a family detonating. I waited until Friday morning. Emily was making breakfast like it was any other day. She even made my favorite, eggs, sausage, black coffee. Like we were some 1950s sitcom couple and not two people standing on the edge of a cliff. I sat down at the table, but I didn't touch the food. She finally asked, are you still mad? I didn't answer. Instead, I pulled the envelope from my coat pocket and slid it across the table. She stared at it, confused, then opened it. The moment she saw the heading, Petition for Divorce, her face fell apart. What? What is this? What do you think it is? Her hands shook. No. Jake, please, I told you I'm sorry. I told you it was a mistake. I haven't even seen your dad since. I cut her off. I know you saw him. I've got the videos. She froze. What videos? Gas station. Late night. Last week. You weren't wearing your ring. She went pale. Who was filming? Doesn't matter. It's done. I'm moving out this weekend. You'll be served officially on Monday. She started sobbing. Full on, mascara running, breathless crying. Jake, please. We can fix this. I'll go to therapy. We can do couples counseling. Don't throw this away. Please, don't throw me away. I stayed seated. Calm. You already threw us away. In my parents' house. On the same day you told me you loved me. She dropped to her knees next to the table. Literally on her knees. Don't do this, she begged. Don't humiliate me like this. That's when I lost it. Humiliate you? You were with my father, Emily. In the house where I grew up. You kissed him like a teenage girlfriend 5 days ago while lying to my face every night. She stopped crying for a second, just stared. Then she tried a new angle. If you leave me, I'll tell everyone you were abusive. I laughed loudly. You want to play dirty? Try me. I've got recordings, screenshots, and now a witness. You want to go nuclear? I'll bury you under the fallout. Her face twisted into something unfamiliar, a mix of rage and panic. You think you're so perfect, she hissed. You think you're the victim here. I am the victim here. No, you're just weak. That's why your dad got to me. Because you stopped trying. I stood up, slowly, walked over to the door, then looked back at her. That line right there? That's the last thing you'll ever say to me in this house. Then I walked out. I didn't go back home that night. I stayed at a hotel near work. Slept like a corpse. No dreams. No interruptions. Just blackness. The next day, I got a text from my mom. He's here. I told him everything. I think you should come. So I did. When I pulled up to the house, my dad's truck was in the driveway. The same black F-150 from the videos. The same one Emily leaned into like it was her honeymoon suite. I walked inside. My mom was standing in the living room, arms crossed. Red eyes. No makeup. My dad was sitting on the couch. He didn't look angry or scared, just tired. Jake, he said, nodding once. I didn't return it. Mom spoke first. Tell him what you told me. He sighed, looked up at me. It was wrong. I know that. I crossed a line I can't uncross. But I didn't chase her. She came to me. I nodded slowly. So you've said. Still disgusting, though? He flinched, but didn't argue. She wanted something you weren't giving her, he added. Affection. Excitement. Whatever. I didn't think it would go that far. You didn't think being with your son's wife would go that far? He looked down. No. Mom cut in. He's moving out. Today. I blinked. Wait. What? She pointed toward the hallway. Told him to pack his things. I'm not staying married to a man who sleeps with our son's wife. Dad stood up. Come on, Carol. We can work. She cut him off. No. You broke this. You don't get to glue it back together with apologies and excuses. He turned to me. You really okay watching your parents split over this? I stared at him. You already split this family. I'm just watching the fallout. He nodded, picked up a bag near the door, and walked past me. I didn't move. Neither did Mom. The door closed behind him with a finality I didn't expect. Silence. Then my mom exhaled, shaky. You know the sad part? She said. This feels more peaceful than anything we've had in years. I didn't respond. Just nodded. Then I left too. 3 days later, I got a call from an unfamiliar number. I let it go to voicemail. 10 minutes later, another number. Then a third. Finally, I picked up. Jake, the voice said. It's Teresa, Emily's sister. I hadn't spoken to Teresa in months. We were never close, mostly small talk at family gatherings, but she always seemed like the level-headed one in that mess of a family. I heard, she said, voice low, about everything. I didn't say anything. She continued, my mom's in hysterics. Dad's livid. What the hell happened? I gave her the PG-13 version. Emily had an affair. With my father. It's been going on for months. I found out. Now I'm out. There was a pause. With your dad? Yeah. Another pause. Jesus. I know. Then she said something I didn't expect. She's staying with us. What? She showed up yesterday. Bags packed. Said you were divorcing her, but wouldn't say why. Cried all night. I figured she cheated. But your dad? That's insane. I laughed bitterly. Tell me about it. She didn't tell anyone the truth. Not even Mom and Dad. They think you just had a meltdown or something. She's lying to them? Of course she is. That's why I'm calling. I figured there had to be more to the story, and now. Jesus, Jake. She's still sleeping in your house. Not for long. My dad's already making calls. He's furious. I smiled for the first time in days. Good. Can I tell them the truth? I paused, then said, absolutely. In fact, I've got the footage if they want it. You're serious? Dead serious. I'll let them know. That night, I got another call, this time from Emily's mother. She didn't yell. She didn't cry. She just said, Jake, I'm sorry. Then she hung up. I thought the worst was behind me, until I got a message on Facebook. It was from Gary, one of my dad's old golf buddies. They've played together for years. He's retired, divorced, and way too active on social media for a man pushing 70. The message said, Hey Jake, I heard what happened. You got a minute? Thought you should know something. I hesitated, then replied, "Go ahead." What he sent next made my stomach drop. I didn't want to get involved. "But your dad, he's been bragging. At the club. Said he was keeping it in the family. Thought he was being clever." My hands clenched. Gary went on. "It wasn't just Emily. That man's been creeping around behind your mom's back for years. Waitresses. Some mutual friend's daughter. And now this." I told him it was disgusting. He laughed it off. I called him immediately. Gary answered on the first ring. "Jake, glad you called. Tell me everything." And he did. My dad had apparently been talking about younger women for the past year, making crude jokes about Emily, calling her too hot for a desk job. Said things like, "If Jake doesn't appreciate her, someone should." He even bragged about the gas station meetup, called it a covert op. "I thought he was bullshitting," Gary said. "I didn't think he was serious. But when the truth came out." "He told you this to your face?" "Over beers. Thought it was hilarious." I sat there, boiling. "You know what the sickest part is?" Gary added. "He told me it made him feel young again. Like chasing after your wife was some midlife fountain of youth." That was it. I thanked Gary for the info, hung up, and went straight to the group chat with my lawyer. Add emotional damages to the filing. This isn't just infidelity. This is calculated psychological abuse. She replied, "Noted. This just got bigger." It was raining. Of course it was raining. I was packing the last of my things from the house, my house, when Emily showed up uninvited. I heard her before I saw her. The front door opened like she still lived there, and then, "Jake." I was in the bedroom, boxing up the last drawer. I didn't answer. She walked in slowly, like the floor might collapse under her weight. "Jake, can we talk?" "No. I just want to explain." "There's nothing left to explain." She stepped closer. I could smell her perfume, the same one she used to wear when we went on dates, when things were good. "I miss you," she said quietly. I didn't respond. "I've been staying at my sister's. It's awful there. Everyone's angry. My mom won't even look at me." "Good." She flinched. "Do you hate me?" I turned to face her. "No. I feel nothing." That hit harder than yelling. Her face twisted. "You said you loved me," she whispered. "I meant it. Back then, before I found out you were crawling into bed with my father." Tears welled up. Again, she tried to step closer. "Don't," I said sharply. "I was stupid," she said. "Lonely. I thought maybe he understood me better. He understood how to ruin your life." Mission accomplished. I made a mistake. "No, Emily. A mistake is forgetting to pay a bill. This was a choice. Repeated. Planned. Carried out in secret. In my family's house. On my mother's couch." Silence. Then she tried again. "Jake, is there any chance, down the road, we could fix this?" I laughed. Hard. "You're seriously asking me that?" She nodded. "No. There is no chance. I don't want your apologies. I don't want your tears. I want you to walk out of here and never come back." She stood there, frozen. Then I walked past her, down the hall, and opened the front door. "Go." And to my surprise, she did. No begging. No one last plea. Just quiet sobbing as she walked out into the rain and closed the door behind her. It was the last time I ever saw her. I thought I'd closed the chapter, sealed the coffin. But then my dad made one last, pathetic attempt to crawl out of the grave he'd dug. It was a letter, not a text, not a voicemail. A letter, handwritten, left in my mailbox. 3 pages long, front and back. The gist? "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. Emily came on to me. We lost control. I still want to be your father." He even had the gall to write. "We were both broken. She needed affection. I needed connection. It wasn't about sex. It was about being seen." Like that made it better. I almost ripped it up on the spot, but something stopped me. Instead, I scanned it, uploaded it, sent a copy to my lawyer. Then I drafted my own response. Short, to the point, cold as ice. "Dad, you made your choice. I'm not your son anymore. I don't want a relationship. I don't want a reconciliation. You didn't just sleep with my wife. You destroyed your wife's trust, shattered this family, and humiliated your own blood. That wasn't connection. That was cowardice. Don't contact me again. Jake." I printed it, drove to his place, hand-delivered it to his front door. Didn't ring the bell. Didn't wait around. I left it under the windshield wiper of his precious F-150. And I left. Haven't heard a word since. It's been a year. 12 months since I found my wife with my father. 9 since the divorce was finalized. And 7 since I sold the house, quit my job, and moved 3 states away. Some people run from fire. I walked through mine. Let it burn everything. And honestly, best decision I ever made. Emily tried contacting me once, months after the dust settled. Just a pathetic DM on Instagram from a burner account. I think about you every day. I didn't even reply. Just blocked it. She's living alone now, according to her sister. Working retail, trying to start over. Good. Let her live with what she did. My dad, he's a ghost. Nobody in the family speaks to him anymore. Not even his brother, who told me straight up. I always thought he was a narcissistic prick. Now we know. My mom's doing better. She took a trip to Italy with her best friend last month. Sent me a postcard with one line on it. I traded wine and pasta for that walking disappointment. Legend. As for me, I started over. Clean slate. New city. New job. Different last name on my email signature. I'm not bitter. I'm not angry. I'm free. I kept very little from that life. A few photos. My dog. The tools my grandfather gave me. That's it. I burned everything else, literally and metaphorically. What did I learn? That trust is glass. Once shattered, it never fits the same. That sometimes, the worst betrayal doesn't come from enemies, but from the people who swore they'd protect you. And most importantly, when someone shows you who they really are, don't look away. Don't rationalize. Don't bargain. Don't hope they'll change. Act. Because no one deserves to be collateral damage in someone else's selfishness. If you're reading this and going through something similar, hear me. You're not crazy. You're not overreacting. You're not weak. You're just waking up. And once you do, burn it all and walk away.